Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra. I'm a member of Adbinar marketing team, and I will walk you through today's Adbinar. It's a pleasure to welcome you here, and I hope you all having a great day today. I will maybe start with a little warm-up. That means some news related to software Adbinar. In Adbinar, we are very aware that the way data is presented can have a significant impact on how it's ultimately interpreted. So therefore, it has impact also on a tree workflow. For this reason, we are creating reports that present data in a way that is as understandable as possible for both the expert and the customer. Leading researchers and biomechanics experts can, from across Europe, provided us with the feedback when interpreting the calculations. You can look forward to new reports from the turn of a year, so stay tuned for that. And other new is that we are preparing Adbinar Academy. It is a special course to help you better understand Adbinar and to learn how to use it effectively in the field. So it is an online course that you can take comfortably from home at a time that suits you the best. We will be launching it in early May, so not even a month, and you can see it for yourself. If you would like to meet us in person, mark in your calendar 2 exciting events. First up will be Deutsche Baumpflegetage in Augsburg. It is from 23rd to 25th of April. Or if Croatia works better for you, the Green Days in Pola from 2nd to 3rd of May will happen. So don't miss the opportunity and join us and explore the latest innovations in tree care and environmental solutions. Also, in following days, we will be announcing another very special event. So I suggest you connect with us also on social media, so you have updates on this special event and also updates on our development and special content, which, for example, we have posted a case study. Its second part already while using our software Adbinar. So you can check it and see it through this QR code. You can also choose the platform you use. If it's Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, you can find it where suits you the best. I think now it's time to start with our Adbinar 4 officially. So hello everybody. I want to welcome you all again. It is our 4th webinar with the topic a 40-year journey through tree stability systems in Italy and Europe. Thank you for spending your time with us today. And I will quickly guide you through today's schedule so you know what's coming up. We will start with presentation by Daniel Zanzi and his team of Fito-Consult. It will be followed by interview that will be led by Ondrej Kolarik. And of course, in the end, there will be space for questions. And so if you have any questions during the presentation, don't hesitate to write it in the chat or Q&A section, and we will get to them right after that. So thank you again for being part of our community. And I would like to quickly introduce our guest, Daniel Zanzi, a well-known landscaper and consultant in arboriculture all over the world. After obtaining a Master of Science degree at Agricultural and Forestry Sciences from Catholic University in Piacenza and working experience in the research field, he set up Fito-Consult, the first tree care company in Italy. Hello, Cecilia and Monica. I would like to ask you to start presenting.
Let's start with the presentation. Hello to everyone, all around Europe and in the other part of the world. I am Daniel Zanzi, and as a German philosopher wrote more than a century ago, this aphorism: it is a bad way to repay a teacher if his student remains always students. So we are a team that are facing with the beauty and the problem of tree for more than 40 years. And Monica Castiglioni is just on my right for more than 20 years. My daughter Cecilia Zanzi from more than 10 years, and from Amsterdam, and then he will speak about what he's doing from us, my son Ondrej Zanzi. I think to be one of the oldest technicians in the world to have got experience on trees. This evening I would like to share with you what I have learned during these 40 years and how our profession changed during this long period of years. As Alex Shigo was my mentor, and in his famous book, A New Tree Biology, in the introduction, he wrote, "A tree is the most massive, longest lived and tallest organism ever to inhabit the earth. Trees support more communities of living things than any other organism." In these four words, there are almost all what I am saying this evening. A tree has to face with height, is the tallest, is aging, and is the most massive mass on the earth. Meanwhile, it supports many other organisms. Many other living organisms are living in a tree. So a tree is composed as two different aspects: biological aspect and mechanical aspect. Is a combination of two parts, and is the first message that I would like to transmit, that a tree has two different aspects: living and mechanical aspect. And a tree could die for biological and mechanical aspect. But during the last 10 years, I have seen that the mechanical aspect are the only matter for discussion. Because it seems that we would like to live in a safe society where the risk is equal to zero or even cancelled. That is impossible. During my life, I have organized several conferences, several seminars. I have learned a lot of things from my mentor, especially for Alex Shigo, that start from the biological point of view, of a view on trees. But many other, I have to thank many other people that follow and show me the path on tree biology and tree mechanicals. Alex Shigo, Klaus Matek, Lothar Wessely, Pierre Rimbaud from France, Niels Vass from Denmark, the pioneer of European arboriculture, and Jim Clark from America. Many other people joined my life, but at the beginning, the approach to a tree was with very rude instrument like a hammer and like a incremental borer, like this one, or in the picture you can see a lady, Catherine Jones, from the Polytechnic of Zurich, that is showing how to extract a core from a tree. A core that we take out and analyze and smell and test to see how was the condition inside the tree. But we learn a lot from books, arboriculture. This is Professor Campana from America, from Richard Harris from America, James Clark, Nelda Matheny. About what? About to face the tree, how to look the tree. And then came other things on the way. We tried to experiment. This picture was in 88, so a long time ago. Der Vitamat was the first attempt to detect the condition inside the tree. You can see how big and heavy was this tool, and the diagram that you will see was put here in Varese a long time ago, just to show the electrolyte inside the tree, and there was where was a sapwood, where was a hardwood, where was a defect, and so on and so on. But a long way was on, and we start and learn a lot from American people, American Professor Harris, Professor Shigo, that was looking inside it, outside the tree, the defect, and VTA started to approach the visual tree assessment. Was a form to organizing in a correct way, in a better way, what we are putting on the paper. So the first logo of VTA was this, and now I pass the word to my colleague Monica. That now I think that is the lady that she's facing and utilizing VTA and instrument for 20 years. So he analyzing thousands and thousands of trees, and I am very proud to have this team of expert people that are looking with passion and are able to think and to understand trees. Please, Monica.
Yes, you are right. It's almost 20 years that I joined the Fito-Consult team. It's only 2 decades, but it seems so long time when you think how many things have changed during 20 years. And we are asked to check tree stability. And at the beginning, the visual tree assessment was the main method to detect a tree. It was a visual one, and we were used to go under a tree, to look at the tree, and to see which were the most important defect, even if a cavity or a wound is not always a big defect or a great problem. So the approach was mainly a visual one, but if we need to get deeper in the situation, in the real state of the tree, we were using the resistograph that you know is an instrument that is quite simple and can find the presence of cavity inside of the trunk. But you know how many drilling are necessary to measure exactly the shape of a cavity and to measure the thickness of wood, of sound wood. So it was a quite simple instrument, but it was not so precise as we would like. So you can imagine my happiness when in 2000, more or less, Stefan Rast from Germany came in Italy, in Varese, to show us the first sonic tomograph. With this kind of instrument, we were able to detect the whole cross-section of the trunk, and it was possible to measure quite precisely the presence of the cavity inside of the trunk. So in this picture you can see me at one side with the old tomograph, and on the other side me with the Cecilia, with the new one, and also the caliper is changed. Now is something very electronic, very new tools, very precise. So we are going forward. But still, with the use of this kind of instrument, we are looking only at the base of the trunk. We are looking in some special points of the tree, and we are losing the whole situation, the situation of the whole tree. Here we can see only just a report of what is the tomography on an old oak we measured in Reggio Emilia, and after some years we came back and we saw what was the real situation when the tree was cut down. Always in 2000, also Lothar Vessoli came in Italy, at the beginning in Merana, then also in Varese, and he introduced us to the SIM group. The SIM group is a group of experts, international group, and we started using the SIM method, the static integrated method. This was one of the first expertise that was done in Italy, in Castellanza, that is close to Varese, and there are two big plane trees that were measured. Those three were already measured with the resistograph from other technicians, and they said that these trees should be removed. Then Lothar came, and with the use of special instruments like inclinometer and elastometer, made the first expertise, and he showed that the trees are safe, that can be only just pruned to reduce a little bit the crown, and the safety value was pretty good. And nowadays, one tree is still
was enough to reduce a tree from 32 meters of height to 29 meters of height, just 3 meters. Just to increase the safety factor of about 60%. So the trees are still safe with a big cavity at the basis, but with this method we can analyze the dynamic force in the tree.
Yes,
go on.
Because with this kind of approach, we are now considered the tree not as a stock of wood, but is a living organism that is under load, especially the wind load, that changes the shape of the crown when the wind comes. And it is important to detect also the behavior of the tree when it is in the environmental where it grows. So it is another approach that is very, very, very important. These are some pictures of our annual meeting. You know, it's very important to keep contacts and to go forward from the technical point of view, and to share experiences also in this field. Lothar Vesoli introduced also another method, that is the static integrated assessment. It's something very raw that can allow people using only a calculator, some graphics, and a caliper to measure the safety stability, also looking at the real shape of the plant, but you know, it's something very not very precise. Nowadays we have other tools on our hands that can allow us to be even more precise also on this aspect. And we want to show you a showcase that is the analysis on the plane tree in Via Dandolo, Varese. In this case, we used lots of instruments during the years, and is an example on how lots of information can be added to make a professional expertise. So, Daniele, can you say?
Yeah, just a bit of history, because history is important. This is a row of historical plane trees planted in the 19th century, and this picture was taken at the first year of the 20th century, and we analyzed these trees were pollarded, so it's a technique of pruning that compel the tree every year to put energy in the new leaves. So nowadays the diameter of the trunk is quite similar to the diameter that the trees had in more than 1 century ago, because all the energy is going to the leaf and not to increase the diameter of the trees. And we start, as you can see in this interesting picture, if you look at the first plane trees, you can see the fact of the basis, you know, bubbles and cavity and a weak point in the pollard area. So if a technician in the first year of the last century ago can make a VTA analysis, find a lot of defects, but it's normal to find defects in the trees, you know, as is normal. So during the year we, as a VTA, a resistograph, Vitamat, and tomography sounds, and in SIM method. And now Monica, go on.
So on this tree, the first of the row, in 2020, we made a tomographic measurement, and you can see that this was the result. The sound is pretty good. The wood is pretty good inside. It's sound. Then in the following year, in 2021, we were asked to pull this tree with the SIM method. Also in this case, the situation was fine, because the safety value was of 900%, and after applying the wind load, the simulated wind load, we obtained also a braking safety of 600%, and a tipping saving of 150%. So we were quite happy, because the situation was good. Then in this autumn, we have also another kind of valuation. Maybe Cecilia, who was present, can say what we have done.
Yes, we did a test with this new tool, Adbinar. last autumn we started use this tool, and also in this plane tree we use, and with Adbinar, with just a smartphone, as a phone, you can do a 3D scan of the tree and collect a lot of information about stability and weakest point on the trunk. In this picture you can see the report of this tool and with the safety coefficient of the tree, and here is the location and the crown scan, and more important, the trunk scan with the detection of the point with more problem of the tree. This tool could be also combined with our previous analysis, so in this case with tomography, in order to have a complete vision that could help the technician to have information on the tree. Finally, we on this tree we did an ecosystem analysis with i3. It is important nowadays to have to collect information about ecosystem service that the tree could give us and give in our city. In this case, we did the analysis only of this single tree, but it could be also very interesting to do on all the street, on all the line of the trees. And we collect some information as carbon storage, pollution removal, and carbon sequestration, and the replacement values that could help us to underline the importance of trees and in order to preserve and to say how it is important the role of the trees, of adult trees, in our urban ecosystem. Maybe now my brother could say something more about this tool. So I think he's connected from us, Amsterdam.
Yes. Yeah, I am. So yeah. Good evening, everyone. Just a couple of words from my side. I don't have any slides, so sorry for that. But yeah, that's quite interesting. Is just to see as things are evolved in the last 40 years. Also, some what is coming is exciting as well, because as we see in the historical path of the mechanical approach, we see here now today also the communicational and the ecosystem part that is as well important. Because we believe that only communicating and only making evident what trees make for us, for the cities, and for the overall stakeholder available every day, we can preserve better. Here we can see a very simple example of what this tree is providing us and has already provided us in the last years of life. Thanks to a tree and to other similar software, we can give clear picture of what ecosystem services urban forestry can give, and this is mainly helpful for, let's say, understanding what trees give us, but also to help politicians, decision makers, and all the other ones who runs requalification project in understanding the real value of what we have, and also in understanding that it's not possible to cut down trees and to replace with the smaller one, because it's not 1:1 ratio. And yeah, just to underline that thanks to new software and new models, we can also help the other stakeholder to make more precise and more aware decision on our territory.
Okay.
Okay.
So up to you. I don't know who is next.
Yeah, I am just to spend some words about our experience. As I said before, tree is a combination of mechanical and biological aspect. Nowadays, on the basis of my life experience, I think that biological aspects are underestimated. And this is the reason why so many trees are felled and we are losing a big treasure in our city. In Italy, we are disaster. In Torino, in Pordenone, in Roma, in Venice, in Varese, in Milano, everywhere we have a call of people that ask to help to maintain trees. A big trees is a treasure for us, and nature doesn't follow the rule of mathematics. To condemn a tree only on the basis of a number is a crime against nature. We cannot do this. We cannot do this. An instrument is a tool in our hands, but before that we have to consider the value of the tree, economical value, environmental value of the tree. And in nature, 2 plus 2 could be 3.98 or 4.01. Nature don't follow the rule of mathematics. The ratio T on R is a mistake, a big mistake. My experience is not water. Biological aspect is very important. What is my message at the end of 40 years or more of professional expertise on trees? And here big beauty. I would like to have many of these examples all around the world and Europe. This is the alley in Stuttgart, in Hohenheim Castle. This row of poplar with a lot of problem, cavity, decay wood, polar, the bad pruning for years, are saved with analysis of instrument pulling test, but pulling test is only an instrument to see the risk. And but these trees are saved with a program of maintenance, cabling, pruning, because to this tree are linked thousands of life of coleopter, insect, micro and macro fauna. So it's important for us to save, and with instrument we can save, but for the instruments, these trees are all to be removed. And now we are knowing the biology and using maintenance work to save the tree. Another example is in Europe, is in Tübingen, with a arrow of plane trees saved and maintained with the dead wood. So my message at the end is trees are important, instruments are tools, use the brain. The brain is to be combined. Here is the alley in Tübingen. You can see that the dead wood on the left side of this big plane is saved because is important for the biodiversity, and with a system of cabling we reduce the problem of risk. It's impossible. Risk is not to become the main question in our profession. It's tree, not risk. But we have to face with the risk and try to maintain the tree. Because it's too simply cut down trees. It's very simply. You never fail if you cut down the trees. You never fail. The expertise never fail. Because the tree is out, is down, is not more a problem. But we are losing a treasure for our city. So we would like to thank all the people that attend this webinar. I would like to thank Kolarik and all the team of Adbinar that are able to create a link with European and worldwide arborists, because it's only to share information, but not only information, but the experience of life, that our field can be improved and more trees could be saved by us. Thank you, and now we are ready for questions.
It was very rich in information and your expertise. So thank you so much for contributing to our webinar. Now I would like to give a word to Ondrej and his questions.
Yeah, I also would like to thank you, Danielle, and the team for a great presentation. I wrote down a few questions just to start the discussion, but if anyone else has any question on mind, please write it in a chat or you can ask directly afterwards. For those who don't know, I'm Ondrej. I'm also from Adbinar team, and we've been last year to Varese to meet with Fito-Consult team and work together on a few trees. And maybe first question would be for you, Danielle. You were talking about the two aspects of looking on a tree, mechanical and biological, and how we are losing these big, beautiful, and the most important trees. What would you say is the #1 reason we are losing these trees? What's the most common cause of losing them?
Ignorance of tree biology and interest. Many people are interested in business of tree, not in trees, and it's quite different. Modern arboriculture, I had the fortune to share part of my life with my mentor and friend Shigo, that passed to me this philosophy that a tree is a living organism and respond to biological aspect and to energy. What I am saying is that even a tree that have energy can fight also with mechanical problem. A tree with no energy is a dead piece of wood. So most of the time, the reason why a tree has a lack of energy is men. And most of the time are people that ignore the biology of tree. So my suggestion is first become and look the nature, learn much possible about biological aspect, and then you can understand mechanical aspect.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Great answer. My next question, because you talked a lot about history, how these methods develops, maybe this is for all the team, do you see any trends or technologies you are excited about going forward? What could really, change the game in arboriculture for the future?
Yeah, I think that I saw this field born, and I follow step by step the increasing of people interested in trees. People came in from other fields. For instance, most of the more recognizable scientists like Klaus Matek or Lothar Wessely came from the engineering world, not from the biological world. And they gave to us a great support. I think that nowadays with the internet and the facilities and the computer is in a fascinating world. I am out for my age from this world. Is why we have a team of people. I have so many happiness in looking so many young people like you, like my daughter, my son, like Monica, and other people all around the world that are bringing their knowledge in this field, and this field can increase. The only thing is that I also, the bad news is that I'm looking too many people that are coming in this field only for money, for business, no passion. The response for many trees only one: remove the tree. And before remove a life of 50, 60, 100, 200 years, you have to give to that organism a possibility of survival.
Yeah, okay, great, thanks for the answer. My next question is maybe on ambrosia, but for you, Daniel, as well. Do you see any big differences between how to approach trees in Italy and the rest of the Europe? I'm aiming this for Ambrosio because he spent a lot of time now in the Netherlands, so maybe he noticed something interesting.
Well, that's a question, and there would be quite a lot to speak about. From what I can see, staying in the Netherlands, but also being involved in some European project now. We are involved in a European project Erasmus Plus in between Italy, Spain, and Portugal, and so with a lot of arborists and municipalities involved into that, and we see that every country, even every city, has a different perception of priorities and what's going on. We surely see a lot of similarity in between Greece, Italy, and Spain. While from what I see in the Netherlands, also the environment is different. How environmental resources and also climate change is eating is different from Italy and south part of Europe. Water stress are not so often, or let's say are managed in a very different way. So yeah, it's very different, both from environmental point, but also from a cultural point. And yeah, so that's the main point. But I would say that everyone is going more or less on the same direction on the nexus between technology, arboriculture, biology, and similar stuff, just to advance the technique.
Okay, thank you. And this brings me, another question. You mentioned climate change. So, it's very obvious for the people within the industry that trees are important. But do you feel in the last year that talks about climate change and so on are changing the industry somehow? Do you see some trends in this regard?
Is the question to me, or I don't know? Well, that's another good point. It surely is a topic. I would say that it's one of the main effort and most tangible effort as of now of that discussion is that people are more and more aware of the importance of green areas, and so that it's a good sign. Then, of course, dealing with the practical effort, it's another step and another task, and not very easy to do that. But for sure, one of the positive side of that is that people are speaking of it.
Do you want to add something, Daniel, maybe?
Yeah, I just report my experience. I think that there is a emotive reason and a rational reason. We are working on the rational reason, and we are increasing our work on the benefits of trees for our city. And I think that I suggest to my colleague and my friends all around Europe to put the finger in this matter, because sometimes we underestimate the value of the trees in our town. So could be the future for a business of a private company, but could be a good field to work also for research. Climate change is a problems, and because we are technician, my suggestion is just to build bridge and not walls with citizens. We have to talk, to inform, to discuss with them, because the aim is the same. We love trees and we understand the importance of trees. The difference is that we spoke a different language, and the different language could be a barrier. But if you are a father, you cannot follow the language of your little boy. It's in your mind, because you are adult, to speak a clear language. So also the technician have to change something in communication with citizens.
Okay, thank you both. So my last question before I give the floor to the rest would be, we have many people from Italy here today. Maybe do you have any conferences this year or any events where people could meet you in Italy?
Yeah, listen, on next Thursday, I will be in Torino University about bad cases of removal trees decided by technician and politician. And I have a full agenda all for these 3 months. But we are organizing a big meeting here in Italy. It's not easy, a big conference, bringing here Professor Moho and other colleagues. Professor Moho is a Nobel Prize in 2007, and he is an expert on the environmental benefits of trees. So I think that will be a sort of new approach to the trees, a new look to the tree as a living organism. But in Italy, many people know me, and they know that I am an open-mind technician, and I open my intuition and I introduce in Italy many things like new modern arboriculture, tree climbing, stump grinder, wood chipper, many other things, and I always was glad to share with other people these new tools. So we are a very efficient social tools, and we have many followers, and Italian people know what are the next appointments in Italy.
Okay, thank you. That would be all for me. Alexandra, the floor is yours.
Thank you for your discussion. I have a question here in chat. Do you think artificial intelligence will ever support studies on biomechanics by means of a lot of feeds, examples, especially tomographies from all over the world? That's one question. Maybe we will left the other for after.
I think that one after climate changing is artificial intelligence is another topic of discussion. I admit my ignorance because perhaps I am too old, and I pass the word to my daughter or my son that can promptly answer to these questions.
I think a living organism is too complex, and there are so many factors that work together that to ask to detect a tree or to express to say something about a tree could be not easy, not possible, I hope. Yeah. Because also in the medical field, I think that the thing is similar. I don't know. I'm not enough imagination to bring my mind in the future, but I think that things are so complex, and it is necessary always the human relation to the matter. So.
One thing, my son Ambrogio, for our newsletter that we made to 8,000 address, this is a number, asked to the artificial intelligence to write an article on tree pruning and put some key words like pruning trees, coded and other things. And the artificial intelligence wrote a very nice and correct article, but very superficial. And our conclusion is better to look at the tree and to put your brain in support of trees nowadays. In the future, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I can try to answer also for Adbinar team, because we are playing with several ways how to implement AI into Adbinar, and I can say that there are several promising ways, but all of them mostly focused on helping you understand the tree, not replacing your judgment. So we think we can use AI to help you detect diseases, defects, and so on. But I think for as far as also my imagination can see, it will also be on the tree technician or the tree expert to make the decision on the tree.
Okay.
Ambrosio, you wanted to say something as well?
No, it was just a very silly sentence that I'm a big fan of ChatGPT. So that's what I used to write the article. Then I agree with you all about what you said.
Okay. There are many.
Yeah, another question is, does Adbinar tool allow modeling root strength? Can tomographies be conducted on roots to fully tailor the tree you are modeling? Thank you, Alex, for questions.
Sorry, I don't catch it. Can you repeat the matter of the question?
Yeah. Does Adbinar tool allow modeling root strength? Can tomographies be conducted on roots to fully tailor the trees you are modeling?
I can answer this question because I have no real experience on this, because we are not used to measure the root system, but we through the pulling test we measure the behavior of the tree when you apply a wind load. So we are not used to detect the roots in using tomography or something else, because this means to dig around the trunk and to move the soil and to change the condition of the of the soil itself, and to change the situation about microorganism, and everything lives together with the root system. So as regards this kind of approach, sorry, but I can't give an opinion technician.
Yep.
Okay.
I can again add some context on Adbinar. You know, Adbinar is calculating mostly the breakage resistance of the tree. For root or uprooting resistance, the Adbinar can be combined with pulling test. But apart from that, if you just use Adbinar as is, we cannot detect anything about the roots unless the roots are failing and the tree is uprooting. There is a possibility to collect the data again and again with the same tree, and if it's uprooting, we can detect the change in the incline of the trunk. But you know, this is just in the extreme cases, so I wouldn't say it can be regularly used to detect the strength of roots.
Okay, and I think last question. After about 30 years of endotherapy on trees, can you give me your personal opinion about it?
Okay, it's from an Italian guy, I think. Yeah, listen. In '86, Mr. Todd is the general manager of Moget Injection. Came over in Italy and visited me, and we have a very nice conversation. And we tested the first endotherapy in Italy on a Cedrus deodara in Varese. And then I start to think about this, and I stopped to use endotherapy because I think that could be useful to fight a disease. If a disease is a problem for the tree, aphid is never a problem for the tree. But Alex Shigo wrote on his aphorism, "Tree never lie." And this is a sample very dear to me, because it's a sample of oak, in 64, Alex Shigo started experimental trials with endotherapy, injection in the tree, and look inside and start to dissect the tree. If you look, this oak, here is the hole of the implants. You see the holes of the implants. If you look in this radial section, you notice the only strip of discolored wood. Discolored wood means that all the parenchymatical cells normally used to store energy are transformed by trees in a defensive system. Dead wood, living wood transformed in dead wood. No energy. But if you look in this transversal section, you can see how big is the discolored wood. So when we inject something, we force the tree to defend itself, transforming living cell in dead cell, not able anymore to store energy. So we weaken the tree. We fight a disease, but we weaken a tree. So is why we don't use endotherapy, because most of the time we fight a disease that is not a disease and cause a big damage inside the trees.
Perfect. Thank you for your answer. I think we don't have any other questions. We have answered that Federico that asked you that he agreed, and he did the same. So maybe that's a reaction to the answer. And I think we are at the end of our session today, of our webinar. I will quickly share my presentation again. Thank you so much for being here and for giving us your time, Fito-Consult and Daniel. It was very exciting, and I think everyone can agree. So I would like to also tell you a little bit of information that you can now register on other Adbinar we are preparing. It is link in the chat now for the registration. And if you want to be the first one of people that will get to know about the speaker and about the topic, you can join the community through this link. And it will take place on 28th May. Make your calendars ready and we will meet there. I hope we enjoyed it together here today. Thank you, Fito-Consult, Ondrej. It was amazing, and have a nice rest of the day, and see you next time.